morning, everybody. How are you? The devilishly handsome Ian Dixon. Good morning, sir.
Shut up, for fuck's sake. Jesus.
Good morning, everybody. It is Friday. Shake your bums. How you doing? I hope you're feeling good this morning. I am. I'm feeling dead good. Not that I'm shocked or surprised. It's been a roller coaster week this week. I have been up and down and round and out. And instead of that being the country this time, just in my head, just up and down and round about. So interestingly, there's been lots to celebrate, nothing really to commiserate. Like some of you checked in with me this week, and I really, really appreciate it. Was talking on Wednesday about mum guilt, and that I was feeling it pretty hard. And whilst that is definitely still the case, the reason for the mum guilt is how hard the team and I, in fact, the whole of the IATQB squad have been working on making Be Inspired the best ever, making the Fly Anyway Foundation fly, and all of that stuff, all of that hard work really is feeling like it's starting to bear fruit. And yesterday I was kind of sat at the end of the day, sort of contemplating and feeling a little bit reflective and a little, not overwhelmed, like, oh my God, overwhelmed, just overwhelmed, like, oh my God, I can't believe we're doing it. Can you do me a favor? On the dining room table downstairs, there's a box with all my haul. Can you pop it in the box and bring it up? There is a box on the dining room table downstairs. Excuse me while I have a conversation with my husband. There's a box with all that stuff that got delivered. Can you just pop it in the box and bring it upstairs? It's very obvious what I'm asking you to do, but I don't want to give it away for these lot. It's really clear what I'm asking you to do. There's only that stuff on the table.
Oh, that's
It's not these things.
Oh.
It's these things.
Oh, right, okay.
Thank you.
So it wasn't really obvious what you were asking.
It was, because it's the only thing that's on the table downstairs.
Well, that makes a change.
What was I going to say then? Right. So I have a haul that I want to share with you. So what am I celebrating this week? I want you, whilst I'm talking to you guys about celebrations up here at IATQB HQ, I want you to think about this week. Think about all of the things that I love talking in code conversations. Can you get the thing off the side, around the corner in the other room? Like where? Like there's a few more rooms in this house than there were in the other house. We had a living room and kitchen, and that's it. Like here now we've got the kitchen, the dining room, the conservatory. We've got his office. We've got like, where is the thing on which table? But I want to keep it as a surprise because I want to show you something. So what I would love you to do, if you're watching along, say good morning, say hello. Who's watching along this morning? Amy Blaney, you're watching along. Hello, my sausage. How are you? We've got the gorgeous Lindsay McGlone is watching along this morning. Our brand relationship manageress, who has pulled off something pretty awesome that I want to share with you. I sold 12. I love it. So I was telling you on Wednesday, I think, about Reclaimed in Hereford, which is a fantastic burlesque show that Lindsay's producing. It's brilliant. I went to the last one. It was fantastic. But Lindsay has now broken past even and into actually making money on an event, which is really, I know this, very difficult to do. Like we're yet to kind of move mountains where that is concerned. So huge congratulations. It's such an incredible feeling. I've sold 12 tickets out of nowhere yesterday, and now I'm making pennies. Yes, girl, I am excited. We've got Chris Chris Fuster is watching along this morning. Good morning, Christopher. Welcome to the show at Wise Up, Rise Up Show. This is our regular live. I go live on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to share with everybody intentions at the beginning of the week with our community, to share a Wise Up Wednesday. So we learn together on a Wednesday, and on a Friday, we get in here and celebrate our wins as a community, as a whole bunch of incredible entrepreneurs, people that are in the personal development space, just celebrating. Did anybody, y'all, have any kids, or indeed it may even be you, who got their A-level results yesterday? Because part of our wins, or our wins as a wider squad, is actually we have begun to partner with another CIC yesterday. Thanks. Let me just pop this down here a sec before I show you everything that's in my box. I've got a box full of stuff. I'm an influencer. Eh?
You said you were going to show me your box.
I'm going to show you a box. Go away, you. So we celebrate our achievements as a community at the end of the week. It's the Show Up, Wise Up, Rise Up show. It's the whole premise of the IATQB, the I Am the Queen Bee community. If you are brand new to the show, Chris, you are most welcome. Thank you for joining us. Good morning, Fiona Bryan, watching over on LinkedIn. Morning. Quick pop in before calls. It's gone mental, hence my protracted absence. I am happy for you that it's gone mental. That is incredible and a complete testament to all of the hard work that you've been doing, Fiona. Congratulations on being busy. That's what we want. That's what I want. I want us all to do well. So whilst I'm sharing with you some bits and bobs this morning, I want to know in the comments, what are your celebrations this week? Did you celebrate with your kids or even yourself A-level results? Just as I was saying, one of the great wins has been a partnership / collaboration with lots of different entities in lots of different ways. So the first that I'd love to tell you about is Curious Entrepreneurs. So some of you may have seen a post that I did on Instagram or LinkedIn last night about A-levels and the fact that I don't have any, not because I'm proud of not having any. I find that this time of year, results time of year, it sort of brings out two types of person, right? One is this is the most incredible thing. I'm so proud of my kids, etc., etc. And you should be. Like, you got your kids through college, and your kids got your kids through college, and kids do not have it easy. Coupled like with raising the stakes all the time, these particular A-level resulters have they've had to come through COVID and the sort of the backlash of COVID and still do incredibly well within their A-levels, and they should be celebrated. I don't have any A-levels, and not because I wasn't academically bright enough. It was because for me, my trauma, and this is something that I've only learned really since doing the work with the Fly Anyway Foundation and creating that and doing my own healing work. My trauma disallowed me from being able to be sat in that particular academic learning environment. That is something that had a knock-on effect into my employment years. I wish I knew a bit more about it at the time for me to be able to navigate it. My learning style was kind of fluky at best. My GCSEs were incredible. There was A stars and A's all the way across the board, except in maths, because that's one of the logical subjects. That I landed a C there. Everything else was an A and an A star because my brain doesn't particularly work that way. And since I've found that I'm dyscalculate. And being neurodivergent and having experienced trauma and having experienced domestic abuse meant that my poor frazzled brain by the time I was 16, 17, 18 was not cut out for academia or learning institutions. It just wasn't. However, I was tenacious. I was resilient. All of these things that I've written about in my book, I Am the Queen Bee, all of these things lent itself to being an entrepreneur. Enter Alex Hughes. So Alex Hughes is a phenomenal human being who has set up something called Curious Entrepreneurs. And he, with the work that he is doing, is setting up a series of recognized qualifications through gamification, through learning about entrepreneurialism, so that, and their learners aren't called learners, they're called earners, so that vocationally people can learn in the business space and in the life skills space, and that will then be recognized. So he's partnering with large, huge employers throughout throughout the nation, so that it isn't just GCSEs A star to C or A level grade or degree level grade that employers are accepting, but also these lived experience qualifications, these vocational qualifications through this gamification method of attainment. Really fantastic work. I'm going to bring him on to a Wise at Wednesday so you can find out more about him. But we met at Ideas Fest and we were kind of talking together, and I was like, well, often and this is for at present young people 16 to 19. And young people 16 to, I remember being that young person 16 to 19, and because of the trauma I'd experienced, my head was up my arse. It was very difficult for me to attain anything. However, I learned vocationally. I learned by doing. I wanted to figure things out. Often we find that people or young kids that fall out of the education system will have experienced trauma in some way, shape, or form. That trauma will have been in some way, shape, or form domestic abuse. And there's a lot of sort of parity between the things that I'm trying to create with people who've experienced domestic abuse in business and what Alex is trying to achieve for young people. So there is alignment in, we're trying to help at the Flying Away Foundation, people who've got a business idea from a trauma-informed space build their businesses. He is trying to help people who may have slipped through the cracks or may not learn in that academic space, learn, achieve, and earn within the business arena, right? So it's really kind of aligned. So I'm flying, swan diving, dive bombing on board in terms of providing one of their badges, one of their gamification badges and qualification badges from a public speaking perspective, and could not be more proud. And there's going to be lots more that you will see for the work that Alex is doing in the young person space and me in the domestic abuse space as we partner a little bit more into 2023. So keep your peepers peeled. But in the meantime, do go and join, do go and follow Alex Hughes and the work that he's doing. It is wonderful. So really, really proud. Huge achievement this week in terms of collaboration. There are some things that I am unable to share with you yet. So there are some incredible partnerships with some nationally and globally recognized brands with regards to Be Inspired. So, and also the Flying Away Foundation, but Be Inspired, I have to do to learn, doesn't go in otherwise. Same, Pixie, absolutely, like absolutely the same. Jodie, Dana, good morning to you. That's brilliant. I was the same at uni, doing well, but I couldn't hit a deadline. I learned better vocationally. Same. Like, I didn't know the ins and outs of running a six-figure business before I started to run a six-figure business. I started to learn by doing. I allowed myself to fail forward. And I'm lucky that I know to surround myself with the right people, but it took me till I was almost 40 to get myself in this position. You don't have to wait that long. And in fact, youth, you have time on your side. It's amazing the work that he's doing. So yeah, huge collaboration and wonderful work being done over there. Having national and global brands look at the Flying Away Foundation, look at IATQB and say, I want to be involved, and me not having to sell it to people is very, very, very exciting, because what that means now is that in terms of sponsorship, event growth for Be Inspired. So if anyone doesn't know about Be Inspired, it's an event that I run twice a year. This time on the 29th and 30th of September, we're at Manchester United Stadium with a full expo and 2 days of TED style talks. It's going to be phenomenal. It already is phenomenal. It's going to be even more phenomenal. But for people to see what it is that we're doing and saying, A, I want to help you grow that. B, I believe in you. And C, here's some money so that you can grow it, is like, or here's some expertise that you need so that you can grow it. And I get to choose who that is now, because so many people are showing and expressing an active interest. Instead of me just going kind of cap in hand to people and going, you know, any partnership's a good partnership, please just give me a leg up. Actually saying, okay, so does this brand align? Is this brand trying to do something? Or even is this big brand trying to make a change that we can say, right, actually we see it might be a brand that hasn't had a good rap, but is actually actively trying to make change. And those brands need people on the floor to see what it is that they're doing and make a conscious decision. They need to inform people out here in the smaller business space what they're doing so that they can make conscious decisions instead of just sort of retreating and retracting. So interesting, the dynamic of different people and different folks, different brands that I'm getting to work with now. And two huge ones jumped in with us. Very exciting. So, and also for anybody that is a gold ambassador or an ambassador or a business builder for the Flying Away Foundation, you will get to benefit too. So lots of things to announce in the coming 2 weeks, none of which I can today, but I'm going to celebrate with you anyway. Zoe Brain, good morning. Popping my head above this beautiful statement here, what I will now read out. Zoe Brain, love that you're talking about this. I was an absent pupil, lots of difficulties around my ADHD and dyscalculia, still smashed my GCSEs, other than math, same, and then had to work out of necessity, worked hard, travelled, had 2 children and went back to uni as a mature student, no A-levels, smashed my degree, PGCE, and taught children who had similar problems that I had experienced. Now I have my own leadership business, always learning. Don't let anything stop you. Yes, Zoe, and the incredible work that you're doing within that kind of sustainability thinking space, people, profit, planet, is something that we definitely as a wider community need to be considering going forward. So to be aligning with brands that are shifting and moving and sharpening the lens where that is concerned, accessibility is another one, and D&I is another one. All of these are things that IATQB and the Flying Away Foundation as growing brands are sticking right in the center. We've got the spike. We're ready to sit on it and we're ready to learn. We're ready to get it really fucking wrong. We're ready to get it really fucking right, all the way along. And I think that the brands that are going to do most well going forward are the brands that allow themselves to sit in that space, that say, this is our focus. Other brands that are doing incredible work out in the field are Brand Advance, a gentleman called Chris Kenner, who we met at Ideas Fest, Francesca James, who runs the Great British Entrepreneurial Awards, Emma Sale from Killing Kittens. These are all people who are looking at inclusion, that are looking at sustainability, that are looking at growth and still making money. It's okay to do both. It's okay to do both. It's okay to do good work and get paid for it. Interestingly, I saw a post on LinkedIn this morning from the incredible Abby Adamson, who does phenomenal work in the diversity, equity, and inclusion space, particularly from a HR perspective, does workshops, goes into corporates in workshops for those that are willing to do the meaningful work, the actual change. And a big corporate offered her £200 to come in and do a 3-hour workshop. And that's just paying lip service to the amount of work that goes involved in the lived experience of these phenomenal facilitators, game changers, thought leaders. And it is a joy this week to feel like I'm aligning with those people, to feel like that actually the work that I'm doing is starting to pay off, that we're being noticed. So huge celebrations at IATQB this week. Another celebration this week. We're celebrating lots. I hope you're here to pop the champers with me today. I know it's something like we can do mimosas, can't we? Bucks Fizz is a breakfast drink. I love how fast you're speaking. This is an excited Queen Bee. Jojo, I'm a very excited Queen Bee. I can't wait to ring you. I know you're on holiday, but I'm going to ring you anyway and talk fast at you in a bit. Yes, can't wait to help people with Flying Away. Zoe, it's happening. In so many ways, it's happening for people that have signed up to be ambassadors that might have felt a little slow. We are still here. We have actively started helping business builders. We're making sure we keep those people safe. They are at the forefront of our service, and we want to be able to make sure that we can really take them through a robust process. And in order for us to apply for funding, it needs to be robust. So another celebration this week is that we have teamed up with software developers Code Galaxy. So if anybody has been to Be Inspired before, you may or may not have met the phenomenal Mary Speakman. Code Galaxy are a husband and wife duo. They have a company. They've got many employees and doing phenomenal big work, but they are assisting us with 2 things. One is user experience at Be Inspired. So Be Inspired this time has doubled in capacity. So we've gone from 75 to 220. I'm going to say this out loud. Next time we're looking at doubling it again, and the time after that, and the time after that, and looking at really growing this event to have its home at Manchester United Football Stadium, but to be able to grow into that stadium as well. I can see you guys. Please do start to put what you're celebrating in the comments. I want to shout you out. I want to celebrate with you. So from a ticketing point of view, we can't work sort of locally and off a list anymore. It's just the event's too big now. But we also want to be able to have a user experience that is going to be helpful to people that exhibit, to our sponsors, and also to our delegates. So again, I can't tell you too much about what it is that we're developing. I'll be able to share more with you next week, but we are creating a digital user experience. A digital user experience at Be Inspired that you are going to be able to get amongst, that's going to allow you to easily network, that is going to allow you to network in the moment and connect in a way that kind of keeps all your thoughts together. So one of the things that I found at Ideas Fest is, I can't even show you, can I? Like I won't show you. Just to the side of me is a stack of business cards, scribbled bits of paper. It was a mess. I had to come and do a manual download of all of the conversations that I'd had and what we were talking about to remind me for trigger conversations for follow-up, because Fortune's in the follow-up, right? As you can see, for the past 2 weeks, we've been a hive of activity, actively following up on connections that we made at live events. So as a learning tool, I want Be Inspired to be a phenomenal, well done networking experience, right? So we're creating something digital to help you with that. Can't wait to share that with you. But we are teaming up with the squad at Code Galaxy. We're also, with the team at Code Galaxy, starting to develop our CRM platform. So our data management platform and our progress platform for our business builders and for our ambassadors. So work has now started on that. So even though, if you have signed up to be an ambassador, so if anybody doesn't know, the Fly Anyway Foundation helps people who've experienced domestic abuse with a business idea plug into business goods and services. Our ambassador community are people who have donated or subsidized business goods and services to assist those people. So we will financially assist them. So if someone needs a website, for example, we will pay for a website. Or if someone's donated a web build, we will plug them into an ambassador who's donated a web build. So, but this is going to grow really fucking quick. We need a software system that's going to pull all that together from the start so that everything isn't manual. And then we have to backtrack and do a load of manual entry. We want to be able to have all that right at the start, just when we've got a few business builders. So we have started work on that, which is dead exciting. So we're fundraising for a few things right now at Aviva Communities. This is I feel like a massive update, but huge celebrations. And my brain has been buzzing with everything that's been going on. I want to share with you all of this. That Aviva Communities, Aviva, the insurance company, have a fundraising initiative called Aviva Communities. Kind of like, when you go to Tesco, for anybody in the UK, at the till, you get the blue tokens and you choose where you want the community pot to go. It's like that, but for Aviva Communities. They have a pot of money that they save for CICs and for charities. And they're, I think every quarter, they give their employees like a voucher to decide where this pot of money goes. And the Fly Anyway Foundation is one of those pots for the next 30 days. So Aviva, people that work with Aviva can choose the Fly Anyway Foundation as their chosen donation. They might get given like a £25 voucher. They'll be able to choose to give it to us, which is ace. Then we can share that link and you can decide to put money in that pot as well to help us reach our target. So that money is going to help with build that CRM system and also bring in our full-time project manager and administration manager. So really, really exciting. It's all big, but it's all dead good. So you can see, in order to make all this happen, it's a lot. It is a lot. It sounds amazing because it is amazing and it's a lot. So you can, on Wednesday, when the kids were asking, can we do this? Can we do that? Can we do the other? It made me sad that I just couldn't for them in the moment. Now, that's not to say that I'm not planning those things in. When I finish today at 4 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, I am done. Tools down, I'm getting the hell out of there. I think we're going to throw the kids in the car and fuck off somewhere, and just go and sort of hole ourselves up for a weekend while I process stuff, and also to go and spend some focused time with them. They haven't had the most exciting summer holiday, but it's going to be so that next summer holiday they can have an exciting summer holiday. So we're going to remember what I was saying about resting and replenishing and rejigging. So the rejigging is around my diary, making sure that I have got that time. The resting and replenishing is necessary. Otherwise, I'm going to burn the fuck out. But not yet. So this weekend, I'm definitely going to rest. I promise. Other things that we're celebrating is a fabulous partnership with Fuel 10K. So if anyone hasn't heard about this before, so I had gastric surgery back in December. For health reasons, not that I have to excuse my decisions. I have full autonomy over my body and I love it. But I have lost a significant amount of weight. So for anybody that wants to know, this isn't something that I talk about very often, but over the course of the last 8 months, I've lost approximately 7 stone, which is a lot of weight. And because of that, my body is at risk of being in shock, right? So my nutrition is very, very important. I've got to make sure that I am looking after myself. I've got to make sure that my nutrition is good and I'm making sure that I'm feeding my body what it needs in order to sustain me, in order to prevent things like excessive hair loss that I'd experienced, or anemia, or all of these things. And one of the things that I've got to make sure off of the back of having gastric surgery is make sure I'm having protein first. So everything that I've been eating over the past 8 months has been protein first, then veggies, and then carbs. And then if I really need energy in the day, so Be Inspired, for example, will be quite carb heavy in order to maintain and sustain my energy. But actually, because I'm still burning stuff off, it's quite carbohydrate light. Not because I'm frightened of carbs anymore. It's just protein is the important thing. So right at the beginning of my journey, I was researching, okay, so what things can I be eating in order to really focus on protein? Because I actually have to have about 70 to 75 grams of protein every single day. There's quite a lot to fit in. And I can't just sit there eating chicken all the time. I mean, I could, but I don't really want to. Ethically, I don't really want to. I like to have a good mix of meat and plant-based stuff. I am an omnivore and happy about it, I know, but I want to make sure that my stuff's sourced correctly and all of that sort of stuff. Now then, one of the brands that I started, there were two. One of the brands that I started to consume more of at the time and since, one was Vive protein waters, which I love. They're the less sweet of all of the protein waters. And then the other brand that I've been engaging with, without doing anything online with them, just eating, consuming more of, is Fuel 10K. So Lindsay McGlone, who is phenomenal. She's one of our brand relationship managers here at IATQB. She's been doing some outreach on my behalf, looking at brands that we can align with. And Fuel 10K looked at IATQB, the Queen Bee Danny, and was like, do you know what? Let's send her some stuff. So I'm an influencer now, y'all. I am celebrating being an influencer today. Excuse me while I show you what Fuel 10K sent me. I made up. It's like Christmas. So I'm going to do, I've done some content filming to say thank you to them. But they sent, look, this massive big box. Let me get my microphone out. You'll still hear me? Or you'll be able to hear me. So in this box is all sorts of stuff, right? So first of all, swag. Swagtimus Prime, one of the porridge pots bust, but you know I love swag, right? So Swagtimus Prime over here, Optimus Swag, Wingardium Levio Swag over here gets this cool little tote, Fuel Your Journey, digging on it, and then the things that a box full of the things that I have been literally living on, particularly for breakfast over the past 8 months. So this stuff, Fuel Granola, this has got chocolate in, but it's absolutely delicious. So proteiny wise, it's got 12 grams, like a serving. It's got, is it? How much? Wait there. About 8 grams of protein in a serving. So I will pair that with a protein yogurt. And already I'm sort of kicking in a quarter of my protein, like what I need to ingest, my protein requirements, I think is what it is anyway. So in here, I've got granola that I've been eating anyway. I got made up. I'll show you that last because that's what I'm going to try this morning. The breakfast drinks. So these are high protein. These are 20 grams of protein in just one drink. So these, especially post-surgery, I was living on these. Now these will be like a meal replacement for me. So if I'm having lunch on the go, this is a really easy, because I don't have a lot of capacity in my stomach. So my stomach is now the size of a kid's fun size banana. So food that's like this is easy for me to eat. So whilst I love the texture of this, can't eat a lot of it. I don't have a little pot that I can show you, but I have like a little pot. So I weigh out a serving of that plus some protein yogurt, but that's me for a meal. Because I know some people have asking me like, Danny, what do you eat? This sort of stuff, as well as meat and vegetables. But these are my breakfast, really nice, easy grab and go stuff. These oat bars, and it's not just one, it's like a whole bunch of them. Honestly, I was like a kid at Christmas. I like Jojo Smith's Goodbye Stock Cubes. When I first had my surgery, I had I wasn't allowed to eat any solids because my stomach was stapled all the way down. Do they do plant-based versions? These are plant-based. These are vegan. These are all plant-based. These are, wait one sec. This is vegetarian, not vegan, because it's made with milk. So question mark on the breakfast drinks. No, I don't think. No, I'm lying. Wait. I'm sure there's an oat drink one. No, these are all milk drinks. So there's a banana one, drinks wise. There's a vanilla one and there's a strawberry one. However, they do vegan and vegetarian stuff. So the drinks are vegetarian. I'm sure I saw an oat one. Maybe not. The granolas are high fiber, added. Hang on a minute. Suitable for vegetarian and vegans. These are delicious, by the way. Like they've got like they're big clusters and the proper fit. So a serving, if anyone's calorie counting, not that I'm condoning calorie counting, please, like do you, right? But a serving for the granola is 215 calories. So I'm aiming for like little meals through the day. So like a couple of 100 calories per meal and then snacks in between actually see me through. Bearing in, are they gluten free? Yes, the oat bars are gluten free. These oat bars. And I'm reading the labels because I don't do gluten free or I'm not vegetarian, so I just don't look. Huel is all the way vegan. Fuel is awesome. Fuel is some. Okay, cool. So I got these oat cookies, low sugar. I can't imagine these are gluten free. No. The oat cookies are not gluten free, but these oat bars are gluten free. I think they make up like quite a thing of it if it is, so it'll say on the front vegan or what have you. But they've got porridges. Like I am all the way made up, a whole bunch of stuff. But this is what I'm excited about. I'm excited about. This is stuff that I have been eating, consuming all the way through my journey. So this is not like, oh, I'm just starting to reach out to brands and go, well, like, you look good, I want to pair with you. These are people that I'm already invested in. These are brands that I'm already using, brands that I can already vouch for, brands that I already like, all of that. But this is the one that I am trying this morning. An oat muffin. So do any of you make there's a chocolate oat drink. I knew there was an oat drink. I knew there was. It's not in that box. Maybe he's left it on the thing downstairs. So does anybody make them cake in a cups where they put like cocoa and flour and an egg and vegetable oil in a cup and make a muffin? This is the protein health version of that. So per muffin, this would be a meal in and of itself, but it makes a muffin in a cup, which I'm not being funny. I'm here for cake for breakfast. So I'm here and it's 11 grams of protein. So anyway, I wanted to show you the haul. I'm going to do like a like a proper whole like real situation over on Instagram and doing an Instagram live about it. But Fuel 10K turned up for me. So celebrating incredible brand partnerships, not just from a sponsorship perspective or an exhibitor perspective or a joining forces with the Flying Away Foundation perspective, but just a, hey, we see what you're doing, Dan. Have some dead cool stuff. I'm an influencer today. I'm feeling my influencing oats. So yeah, so lots and lots of things to celebrate here at IATQB. Please do let me know what you are celebrating. I saw some of these a little bit early, a little bit further up. So Amy, me and Mads finally celebrated her birthday from 2 years ago and got to go and see the Waitress after COVID hit, just after I booked tickets. So we've waited an age. I love that. I love that. I sing as part of one of my talks. I sing a song from Waitress called "She Used to Be Mine." If anybody went to Be Inspired last time, it was an emotional moment. I sang it in my underwear, which was interesting. I'll be full as fuck after that. I live on them at times. Yeah, they're easy grab and go, and I know nutritionally they do what I need them to do in order to keep me going and keep me. So really, like Fuel as a brand, Fuel 10K as a brand, it has been my fuel over the past 8 months. And I don't think I would be feeling as vibrant or as healthy if it wasn't for, brands like that making nice stuff for me to eat. Because I think, once upon a time, those things wouldn't have been available to me. So yeah. Zoe Brain, what are you celebrating? Tell me. Celebrating meeting my new team yesterday as a whole group. They are fabulous. And I was way overexcited. Nobody, honestly, you deserve it. You deserve it, Zoe. I am so excited for you and your team. Oh, fucking hell, I was in bits to that song. Do you know there's something quite emotional about a woman singing a sad song in her underwear, isn't there? Thought you were going to announce a 10K run. Carla, we do a 10K run. So the Fly Anyway 10K is a thing. We will be doing it again at Heaton Park in May next year. So more details and how to sign up for that will actually be at Be Inspired. So we will be announcing the dates and what the Fly Anyway 10K looks like in conjunction with Stella Insurance next year. So yeah, that's not what I'm going to announce, but there is one. So if anybody is a runner, Jodie Danner and her incredible running group totally showed up for us at the last one. It was just phenomenal. It was such a lovely, lovely, lovely day. And I ran 10K. Well, I didn't. I walked and jogged and danced and crawled a little bit of it and did 5K of it in my bee suit. Didn't notice the song, was too busy staring at you in your underwear. So one of the talks that I did was Not the Fat Funny One, or the beginnings of Not the Fat Funny One, which is a talk that I do. And that included a reveal of me in my underwear, which is quite cool. My teeny weeny little business is making a profit. Fantastic. Yes, that is what we want. We want profitable businesses, not businesses that bang around telling us how much that they turn over. It's just a vanity. That's why I don't talk about it. Our margins, actually, I have a massive team to implement everything that you see on the front end. Their margins aren't massive. I aren't banging around going, oh, I'm making this much money, because I am. I'm doing well. Don't get me wrong. We're doing all right. We're not doing bad as a business, but hell, I'm so pleased that you are making a profit. That makes my heart happy. Congratulations to you, Natalie. What else are we celebrating before I hop, skip, and a jump off on my merry way into the weekend, sliding into the DMs of the weekend, telling it looks delicious. Today for us looks like more incredible meetings. We're talking to one of the big national banks today. About partnering. We're talking to a brilliant local brand today about ways that we can work together. So yeah, I'm a smiley Danny today, and in amongst all that, fantastic clients doing fantastic things, ripping up trees where they are as well. So all in, today has been a good week, if a little roller coastery, if a little emotional, but hey, that is the path, is it not? What else are we doing? The first time I heard you singing, I was emotional, wrecking my kitchen. The first online Be Inspired I saw, Sarah, winning at life. VA has been life-changing. Yes, and I've got a few things I'll be able to announce soon. So proud of you, Sarah. So proud of you. Women in Safety, huge event in November with 500 people attending in London. Brilliant. Do tell us more about that. We have members of our community that do work in safety and construction that will want to know, members of our community who want to know more about that. Hook up with our girl, Kate Blake. Hello, who's this? Who's this? Who are you? Hello to you. Good morning. Yesterday, I had a local authority fostering agency ask me to speak at their at their annual conference. That's amazing. Jojo, let's catch up. Can't wait to hear more about that. Oh, you got emotional then. We're heading into pre-party hair dye next week. What's my celebration? The Roots. What happened to your profile? I don't know. Claire, give StreamYard permission for us to see you. I'm going to have to fly off, buzz off into Friday, go and do these meetings, go and serve my clients, and then go and spend some time hugging my babies and my husband after what has been a roller coaster. I hope Friday finds you well. I hope the weekend finds you able to make some time and space to love on yourself and love on those around you. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you to all the new members of our community. Please do invite more people in. The more of us that are here, the more of us that can do well when we all do well. Right, my darlings, I will see you all later. I'm going to leave you with a video. I hope this works, that I've created that we are sending out to the Fly Anyway Foundation. Let me know in the comments. Don't pop off yet if you're here. Let me know what you think. Let me see if I'm able to share it with you. Let's see. It goes like this. Right, so at the end of this, I'll have gone, but do watch this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. My name's Danny Wallace and I am the Queen Bee, which is a ridiculously audacious statement to make, but it's much less about me and much more about the work that I do within the Fly Anyway Foundation. The Fly Anyway Foundation is a not-for-profit company specialising in supporting people who have experienced domestic abuse to rebuild their lives, their self-belief and their finances. We connect our service users with business experts, products and services so they not only build their self-confidence and their self-worth, but create meaningful financial independence and contribution so that they can truly fly anyway. I'm the founder of the Fly Anyway Foundation, and I myself have experienced domestic abuse as a child when I was growing up on the council estates of Preston, and then later on in intimate partner relationships in my later teens and early 20s. The shame that I carried as an intelligent, articulate woman who had performed both on stage as an entertainer and within well-respected corporate roles, I found that sometimes the shame was too much to bear. Particularly after I'd become homeless with my 2 daughters under the age of 3 at the time, some 10 years ago. In the moments when things were looking their bleakest, I vowed that if ever I was to survive the situation, I would go on to create any success and any platform and utilise that as my life's work to help people overcome adversity, particularly in the field of domestic abuse recovery. Some years later, when watching the Bee movie with my kids, and I'd created some safety and security by this point, I heard this quote. According to all known laws of aviation, there is no way a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground, and the bee, of course, flies anyway, because bees don't care what humans think is impossible. So I set about rebuilding my life, and by the power of social media, built an audience, and now I lead a movement of business owners who show up, wise up and rise up together. I run inspirational events from a personal development and business perspective. I run workshops, speaking programs, and coach other people to take up space using the power of their mission and their message. With a successful business under my wing now, pardon the pun, in the form of IATQB, I'm now fulfilling my vow of creating a foundation to help people who have experienced domestic abuse in the form of the Fly Anyway Foundation. This has been gathering momentum over the past 18 months, and we are now working directly with our business builders, helping them create new lives for themselves. There are 5 stages in our plan of growth over the next 5 years. Starting with stage 1, business support. So helping our business builders, these are people who've experienced domestic abuse, plug into business goods and services. They'll come to us with a business idea, we'll go through a business plan with them and create them a bespoke prescription of support. The next phase is employability, where we'll be helping people from marginalised communities who've experienced domestic abuse overcome barriers to employment. We'll then be looking at post-crisis support, crisis support, and then eventually refuge and rehoming. So if you can help us in assistance with funding, please do get in touch, support@flyingaway.org.uk, or drop us a message on Instagram @flyingawayfoundation. I can't wait to hear from you.